What's happening, football fans? Ryan Thomas here, live for another episode of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. This one I've been preparing for quite some time. We're inching closer and closer to the National Football League season. We are at that point where we can feel training camp coming, and I know one thing is for certain. I am trying my hardest to contain my excitement for the 2021 National Football League season. I'm trying not to wish my summer away, but at the same time, if you're rooting for the guys that I'm rooting for, the Buffalo Bills, you have plenty of reasons to be excited for this season and beyond, given the season that the Buffalo Bills had last year, going 13-3, having the date with destiny in the AFC Championship game, as I like to call it, the date with destiny with the Kansas City Chiefs. They came up short ultimately, but it was a hell of a year. And I want to get as much content out there as possible to excite the Bills fans, to excite the football fans, as well serve the fantasy football owners. Let them know where they can get their real information from what a 5-6-time champion and yours truly. So that being said, this episode is sponsored by Labatt Blue Brewing Company. Very excited to have those guys on board. Very thankful to have those guys on board to sponsor the show, I should say. And in terms of what lies ahead in Buffalo, I'm hoping that, some events can be put together with myself, at Riverworks. That's what, I'm working towards. I'd love to have that happen. But we'll see. We're trying to make, more events, more things happen now that, we can actually see each other now. But fire away your comments in the comment section below how you see my rankings of the AFC East quarterback rankings. This is just ranking the quarterbacks within the AFC East division. Obviously, Buffalo, Miami, New England, the Jets. How do I see this division as far as the quarterbacks go, ranking top to bottom? Let's start off with number 5. We're going to go with number 5, Tua and Cam. Now, to me, they're tied dead last. Large part to the fact that with Tua, you have a lot of questions as far as his durability goes. And with Cam, we know that Cam Newton's been finished probably the last 2-3 years. We saw a weaker arm on Cam Newton. We saw a less mobile Cam Newton. And yes, the New England Patriots did a phenomenal job of providing Cam Newton with plenty of weapons this offseason. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, 2 stud tight ends that, the Patriots are trying to replicate Gronk / Aaron Hernandez. That was something that was missed out on for obvious reasons. Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry were 2 very solid tight ends last year in Tennessee and with the LA Chargers, respectively. I think that was really smart by Bill Belichick to bring in 2 tight ends that can help not just Cam Newton, but possibly Mac Jones. We're going to get to Mac Jones a little bit later on in the show. But switching gears here to Tua and why I have Tua ranked 5th with Cam, I have questioned Tua Tagovailoa's durability, his arm, and whether or not his skill set can actually translate to the National Football League. Assessing an NCAA quarterback draft class, in particular, a couple years back when you had Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, and Tua, everybody was in love with Tua. Where I looked at Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert, and you can go back and check the tape. Correct me if I was wrong. Correct me if I'm jumping the gun here on what my take actually was. But let me tell you, I truly thought that Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow were the 2 best quarterbacks in that class. And I thanked my lucky stars that the Miami Dolphins didn't select Justin Herbert and instead selected Tua. I think the Miami Dolphins, in short order, will be picking another quarterback in the top of the National Football League draft. Whether it's next year, whether it's the year after that, I am not high on Tua at all. And yes, he was a solid college quarterback. He did pretty well, did some decent things out there for Bama, for the Crimson Tide. But he had a lot of injuries, and I just don't know if he can translate. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen what makes people so high on Tua. at the National Football League level. I just haven't seen it yet, and I don't know if we ever will. Number 4, this is a monkey wrench thrown into the rankings. Buffalo Bills backup quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. Yes, I have Mitchell Trubisky ranked ahead of Tua, ranked ahead of Cam Newton. Mitchell Trubisky did not have the first 4 years of his career go according to plan, shall I say, in Chicago. That's a safe assessment, right? But you look deeper into the situation there, a lot of moving parts as far as coaches, lack of weapons, lack of a run game, and really throwing Mitch Trubisky out there far too early. Mitchell Trubisky, it was known coming out of college that he'd only had one starting season at the University of North Carolina. Chicago drafts him second overall and throws him right in there. It was not going to go well. When you just throw a guy in there with limited collegiate experience, starting experience with only one season of starting experience, as well as a limited supporting cast in the National Football League level, that's a recipe for disaster. And whoever represents Mitch Trubisky, agent-wise, did a phenomenal job of finding the right fit for him on a one-year deal. Took a very, very friendly backup quarterback contract with the Buffalo Bills. And yeah, 29-21 as an NFL starter, a winning record as an NFL starter. The numbers have been inconsistent, yes, but the upside is there. Mitch Trubisky is a backup. It's his opportunity to learn behind Brian Dable, learn behind Josh Allen, and maybe segue into somewhere new next season, or he stays in Buffalo. I tell you this, I'd be much more confident. That's what this ranking is based on. Who am I more confident in starting out of all these quarterbacks, lining up as my guy? Mitch Trubisky. I'm more confident in starting Mitch Trubisky than I would be starting Tua or Cam. Call me crazy, but Tua has a lot of durability questions. Cam is not the player that he once was. Mitch Trubisky is young. Yes, he's raw, but mistakes will come, and with that, patience is a virtue, I believe, with a quarterback with Mitch Trubisky's skill set. I would say that when backing up Josh Allen this year, if he is forced to, which God willing, let's hope he's not, but if he is forced to, it's not much of a transition in skill set. Mitch Trubisky is like Josh Allen light, and I like that. My number 3 quarterback in the AFC East, rookie quarterback out of Brigham Young University, Zac Wilson. So many talent evaluators were extremely high on Zac Wilson, ranking him somewhat even better than Trevor Lawrence. I thought Zac Wilson jumped out at everybody on the tape due to his pro day. I don't know how much stock I hold. Well, I know I don't hold much stock into his pro day. I hold stock into the actual game tape and how he led the Brigham Young University offense. Did a solid job, but what does that mean as far as moving forward at the National Football League level? Brigham Young University is not known as this powerhouse school and a powerhouse conference. Zac Wilson, I think, has a really cool skill set for the Jets and what they're trying to do. And I look at what they've put around him thus far in the new era New York Jets team, with Robert Saleh as the head coach, Adam Gase gone, a distant memory now. I love Mekhi Becton. I love the guard that they drafted out of USC. The name isn't coming to me right now, but they're building a solid offensive line. Controlling the line of scrimmage is the name of the game. It always has been. It always will be. And Zac Wilson, to me, has an opportunity to really flourish with the offensive line that the Jets are trying to build. They're building that lineup. They're trying to be beefy and strong and solid up front and letting the rest somewhat take care of itself. Corey Davis was a solid free agent addition this year. I really like that move by the Jets. I think Zac Wilson is going to have some obvious growing pains, of course, but the opportunity is there. The potential is there. There will be growing pains. There will be moments where Zac Wilson does not show that he was worthy of a second overall draft choice. Let me tell you that right now. And frankly, I thought the second best quarterback in this draft class was Justin Fields, but schematically, these teams feel that, Zac Wilson was a better fit than Fields was. We'll see if they were right. Number 2, the rookie quarterback in this past year's draft class that I believe found himself in the best case scenario situation, Mac Jones out of Alabama. Bama quarterback Mac Jones found himself in the easiest transitional move from the NCAA to the NFL, going from Bama to the New England Patriots. I really like Mac Jones in that Josh McDaniels offense. And yes, he does have attributes that remind you of Tom Brady. I'm not saying he's Tom Brady, but he's a drop back, pocket passer, very accurate from short range, and can really lay it down there over the middle of the field very well. Mac Jones was playing with, solid collegiate receivers, guys that were drafted in the first round out of Bama. He's not playing with those players anymore. He's playing with John Smith and Hunter Henry, who I mentioned. Nelson Aguilar was also brought in on a very rich contract by the Patriots. I thought that was a little bit too much. But I think Mac Jones has the ability to really take this job. Cam Newton, I'm not trying to disrespect him in any way, but Cam Newton's done, in my opinion. I don't see where Cam Newton could make that comeback. Frankly, Mac Jones has the ability to really flourish in this offense just based on what they will ask of him. What they will ask of him won't be a lot. The Patriots have two things. They have two tight ends that are great within short distance, and they will have a solid run game. We know that. So I think Mac Jones will do very well his rookie year. I don't know when he will start, but I believe that Mac Jones is the second best quarterback in this division. Call me crazy, but that's just what I believe. Number one, last and certainly not least, you guys knew this one was coming. The number one quarterback in the AFC East, none other than Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen, who had a career year, his third season in the National Football League. Can he do better from year 3 to year 4? Can he make another jump? Josh Allen made one of the biggest jumps from year 2 to year 3 that I've ever seen from a quarterback ever. He made one of the biggest jumps from year 2 to year 3. So a lot of Bills fans are wondering, can it get better from here? I think it can. I think it will. I expect the Buffalo Bills offensive line to be better, being that they're healthy from the season, from the jump. Devin Singletary in the run game looks physically better than he has ever looked. And yes, you throw in the fact that you have a veteran-savvy wide receiver in Emmanuel Sanders that everybody is sleeping on. Everybody thinks that Emmanuel Sanders is done. Signed a 1-year deal. Of course, it's just 1 year. But when you bring in a savvy veteran pro like that, I think that will help Josh Allen in terms of reading defensive coverages, a sure-handed receiver in Emmanuel Sanders, and another player that a lot of Bills fans have been very critical of over the course of his short career with Buffalo. 2 years, this is his third season. Tight end Dawson Knox, I expect him to take a big step up as well. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the AFC East, one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the entire AFC right now. He is the rock-solid number 1 quarterback in this ranking. It's the easiest part of making this ranking, putting Josh Allen number 1 as a top AFC East quarterback. Can the Bills make that jump from the AFC Championship to the Super Bowl? That's the biggest question. The man that has the opportunity to answer it and then some is, of course, their MVP caliber quarterback, Josh Allen. I'm Ryan Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Thomas Take Sports Podcast AFC East Quarterback Rankings video, Quarterback Rankings show. You can find this on any and all audio podcasting platforms as well as YouTube, Facebook. Like the page, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate the support, and take care. We're getting closer and closer to the National Football League season. I cannot wait.